G'day legends, Mod from Modscale Models. Hey, I'm back. And what are we doing? We're going to do a tutorial on how to polish 2K clear. Yeah, it's a good one, right? Little bit different to acrylic, same principles, just a few techniques that we need to cover off. So if that's something you're interested in, sit back, relax, and we'll get into the details. Okay, so this is the Aldi R8 that we did in the how to spray SMS Color Shift Extreme ABS. And what I did, I was a bit cheeky. I put a little bit of Hollow Shift Starburst over the top just to give me a little flick that I was looking for. And I think it's great. I think it's like a real drifty car, right? I love it. So I've renamed it from Color Shift Extreme to Color Drift Extreme. So that's what we're going to do. And it was finished in the 2K Ultra Clear from SMS as well. So what we need to do is we got a couple of little bits. Where's Pointer? All right, so it's got a couple of little bits of dust, which is got a little bit in the door. Nothing on the bonnet. Mind you, there's a big dirty hole in the bonnet, so that helps. Nothing around there apart from my fingerprints. Nothing across the tailgate, across the back, or around the front. Just got a little bit just there, and just there, and just there. So, and it looks fantastic. So what we'll do, we'll deal with that. So how do we deal with it? Before we deal with it, let's have a little classroom lesson on the paint as we see it on an angle multiplied by a couple of 100 times. Okay, so bear with me. You might be going, what's he talking about? So let me, I've done this before. So let me just do this to give you guys a little bit of a lesson, right? So let me just draw it. Okay, so if we're looking at the roof or the turret on the side under a magnifying glass, and we got the bit of dust in it, that's what it looks like. Okay, now bear with me. The objective is to remove that little bit of dust or contaminant, as we call it in the trade, and remove it down to the surface of the 2K clear. Okay, so how do we do that, right? How do we do that so we don't have any issues? Right, I've set up a few pads here, all right? Now, I use from 2,000 to 10,000, all right? We'll go through that a bit later, okay? But just for the exercise, if we grab the tiny little pad like this one that's got no sort of backbone to it, and it's a bit flimsy, right? And trust me, it serves its purpose elsewhere. I can show you that in a bit. So if we grab our 2000 grit and we block it down, okay, what happens is because it's a flexible, it's going to go like this and take it down, okay? So what'll happen, you will knock down the contaminate, but you'll end up with like that, okay? And keep it in mind, it's magnified, okay? So you'll end up with that, and then you'll come along and then you'll go through the different grades, and then you might take a little bit more off, then you'll polish it, okay? So you'll come down a bit more with the grades, and then you'll polish it, and what'll happen is you will end up with this. Okay, now what that is to the naked eye, you'll be able to see what looks like a blister. All right, that's because you haven't properly the contaminant out of the paint. Okay, so what's the best way to combat this problem? Okay, I'm glad you asked. So we'll go back again and we'll draw our little bit of contaminant. Whoops. Oh, not much of a drawer, eh? So what do? All right, so we've worked out that we want to start with 2,000, right? You could start with 4,000. You'll find out what works for you, all right? And then like I said, I'll go through with what works for me and we'll go from there, okay? So what we want to do is we want a hard block, okay? Same grit as the soft block, but we want the hard block, okay? Yeah. And then what we do is we want to face down that contaminate, right? So what we're doing is we're focusing all our sand grit and energy, sandpaper energy on that and not on this and not on the sides. Okay? Because we've got basically we've got a block, all right? And we're going to... Yep, does that make sense? So we should end up with on the surface. Okay? Now, once we've got it down, then we can go up through the grades to finish off. All right? Because you've got to remember what we're doing, we're pretty much scratching the surface. All right, but as we go up through, cutting the surface, okay? As we go up through the grades, we're making it less and less and less and less to the point where the human eye can't see it, okay? If you put it under a microscope, you can see it, okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, there's arguments out there. I've heard a few people say 10,000 grit, why bother, what's the point? Look, if you follow a good technique and work your way up through the grades, by the time you get up to 10,000, you're not spending so much time on this stuff over here on the compound. Okay, so the effort of going that extra grit, okay, versus the time you're spending compounding and shit going everywhere and it potentially cutting through, all right, or burn through. Some people call it burn through. I call it cutting through. Okay, so that's going through the grades. And we'll cover that off in a bit. So I hope that kind of makes sense on the behind the how to what and the why we use the hard blocks over the soft blocks. All right. Now, once you've done the 2,000 on once you've done with the hard block, okay, the hard block, right? Once you're done with that and you've got it down to that surface, right, you can then go up through the grades with the soft block. You don't need to stay on the hard block, okay? So I would just initially start. So what I'd do, I'd swap that out, okay, and say we're doing 2,000, all right? And then I'd go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all right? Because once you get it down, you don't have to worry about that, okay? Now, orange peel's a little bit different. All right, particularly with 2K, because now the difference, 2K finish over acrylic finish is a lot softer, okay? And it polishes up a lot easier and a lot faster. I'm not going to get down into the technicals, but that's what it does, okay? 2K is a lot harder, so hence why we need to, maybe come down a little bit in the initial grit, and then we go for it. So I would never use 2K. I wouldn't use 2,000 on acrylic. I don't think you need to. I start at 4 and quickly get into the 6. All right, that's just me. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right. So what's next? We'll look at the surface, and if you're worried about your edges and stuff, if that was a sharp edge, I'll show you a little trick. All right. Grab yourself, sorry guys, I should have got this prepared earlier. Grab yourself some tape, all right? So you've rubbed down your surface, yep, and you're worried about your edges when you're polishing, okay? Or if you're new to polishing and look, it does take a little while and you do need to figure it out yourself, particularly when you're at home and you don't have an expert around to show you, Although you do today, right? So what you can do is you can put a little bit of tape just over the edge. Okay. Now, keeping in mind, I'm comfortable putting tape over this because I've rubbed this down properly, as you've seen in my other videos. So I'm not going to get any lifting pain. Okay. So what you can do is you just literally go over the edge with the tape. Now, this one's a particularly interesting scale model because it's got a hatch in it. All right. Now, what I did do behind camera before I started, all right, I just felt that to make sure that that edge wasn't high or, yeah. So, because if it was, you're going to cut through, where's Halo? Oh, he's moved again. So let me bring that in. See the hatch? Okay. And see the bit of crap in it? It's right there. So, if that hatch was slightly raised or slightly lower than this surface, or vice versa, you can run a little bit of tape around the edge, okay? Like what I'm doing here now. So I'll just finish it off. Now keep in mind, this is just as if you already have rubbed it down, okay? Now, there's no reason why you can't do this prior to starting the job. All right, so there you go. So that's a nice protected edge. So when you come along with your polish, you don't necessarily need to go right up to that edge with the polisher, unless you've got an orange peel across the whole surface, and then you've rubbed right up. But a little trick for that is just make sure you come back a bit with your rubbing, and then with your compounds, that little tiny edge that you don't rub, that'll blend in with your paintwork and you won't even notice it, okay? I hope that one makes sense. All right, so that's what you can do to combat burning through your edges, okay? All right, so what I'll do, I'll get all this off and then I'll start the next stage. Okay, so what are we going to use to do the job? Well, we've spoken about the we've spoken about the sandpaper. This is wet or dry. I personally prefer to wet. It's just a personal preference. I'm an old school painter and it just kind of works for me. Do you have to wet sand? No, you do not. You can dry sand these. You can use, let me go and find some. Sorry guys, I should have had these before. You can use what I do. I run the icky sticky sanding sticks. They're twigs, but I call them the icky sticky sanding sticks. Okay, I don't know what that's doing there, but, and 1000 and 2000. 2000 is the brown, and I have not opened it. But you could use that, okay, to rub it down. Okay, so there's lots of things available to do the job, and you know, to end up with the same result. So we've spoken about that. Okay, I've spoken about this before. Soapy water. All right, now you're probably thinking, why is that, Mod? Just take some of the friction, but it takes some of the friction out between there and the paint surface. The cutting effect still happens, just take some of the friction away, okay? Hope that makes sense. If I'm saying stuff and all flying too quick and you're not sure, please just leave a comment below and I will get back to you, all right? And I'll try and clarify it, okay? Well, I won't try, I will clarify it if you're not sure about something. Okay, this is a bit of an overall, bit of an introduction, and I'm not really targeting you guys who know how to do it. This is probably more targeting people who are just sort of getting into it and been doing it for a while and just need to improve their technique. That's all. So don't send me hate mail. Oh, I already know how to do this. Don't mind valuable comments. All right, love them. If you got some great contribute comments, go for it, because this is a learning channel. So love the learning comments, all right? So done that. Pads. I use the DSPAE pads. All right. Now I will put all this stuff up. All right, just here, and I'll write a link in the description too for it. Okay, so don't worry about that now. All right, so that's my fine, that's my medium, and that's my coarse. Okay, so coarse, fine, and sorry, that's let me put it into Tamiya language. That's the finish, that's the fine, and that's the coarse. All right, and these are my solid bases, right, with the Velcro. Okay, right, so I use them. The compounds I use, look, all the compounds do what they're designed to do. They're a cutting compound, so they cut. Okay, so you don't have to use this brand. You can use other brands. I just use this brand because, look, it's fantastic on acrylic. I haven't done a lot of 2K polishing with this stuff, so generally I can get away with it. But lately, as you guys know, I've had a bit of crap. So, look, it works good. I'm sure there's probably a better 2K clear compound out there. Probably more like an automotive brand would probably work a little bit more aggressive. But these work, and I use them because I like their products, and I think they make good product. Okay, so that's the coarse. That's the fine. That's the finish. And then I finish with, you guys would have seen this before, I finish with the Tamiya modeling wax. Okay, love this stuff. All right, does a good job, finishes it off, makes it very anti-fingerprinty and that sort of stuff, particularly when you're ready to go for final assemble. Okay, so that's what I use. Right, next thing. Well, I can't really talk too much about this. This is the Despair grinder polisher, and I've literally just got this in because my trusty old polisher, right? Yeah, the battery's sort of dying, and I didn't pay much for it. And I do have other videos on how I use this, and so the battery's it's just not lasting too long now. It's actually gone from being relatively good to relatively not good. So it's now in the top drawer, and as you guys who follow me for a while know that if it ends up in the top drawer and doesn't get used for a while, out the door it goes. Anything up here has its place, all right? It stays. If it ends up in the top drawer and I don't use it in a while, so that's gone to the top drawer. So I will kind of do a little sort of on-the-job review of this. So, and I haven't even used it yet, so you're going to see me use it for the first time. So excuse me if I'm sort of fumbling around and trying to work out how to put it all together, okay? So it's got a little Allen key up there. So I'm literally doing this real time. So what I will do, I will get set up and then I'll come back. Okay, so let's get a start on this. So I've moved my border over to my preferred side, and there's a tiny little bit of crap right on the edge, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So let's just... Oh, I'm starting with 4,000, only because I haven't used the SMS Ultra Clear. I haven't used it much. So I just thought I'll start with the 4 and we'll see how we go, eh? So what I say, yeah, that's gone. What I say is just let the sandpaper do the work, all right? Put your finger down and get a nice flat, all right? Don't have it on an angle. And you can just put a little bit of water on and it is gone. Wow, there you go. Didn't need 2,000. So that's really good because obviously the higher the grade you go up to start with, the better, right? And yeah, I think I want a little bit more. Okay, and we'll just get that bit. Okay, that's gone. And just grab your micro fiber cloth. I just get these from my local hardware store, and because I'm not allowed to pinch the managing director of everything, I'm not allowed to touch her stuff in her cleaning rags. She gets all nasty with me, so I'm not allowed to. So that looks great. So let's do that one next, down the front. Yeah, I've been saying, been getting a bit of crap in my booth lately. I had such a great run. So yeah, not sure. I might have to give her another deep clean and like run her for a while. Yeah, don't know. That's beautiful, and that's gone. That's gone. So I just got, it's that tiny little bit over on the edge. Ooh. Oh. It's in a nasty spot. Okay, that's it. I'm not doing any more on that. Okay, so that's done. Now we got a little bit on the door. Didn't we say there was a bit on the door? Let me see if I can find. No, that was the fingerprint. And was there a little bit? There was a little bit just there. So let's get in there. Just a little bit more. So how is everyone? I hope everyone's well. I'm well, thanks for asking. If you can hear snoring in the background, that's me dog. I got a spoodle. Have I ever told you guys that before? Don't judge me. I mean, I know a lot of you rednecks out there that follow me have probably got pit bulls and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got a spoodle. Don't judge me. He's a little ripper. He's a good dog. But he's snoring right now, and I can hear him. So how's the flip of this colour? It's just sensational, isn't it? Jeez, it's nice. So that's done. So we rip that down with a bit of 4000. So what we'll do now, this is another hot little tip. We don't need to go the hard block anymore. We can go with the soft block now. I'm pretty happy. Always make sure you don't glide over the grades as you go up. You need to properly cut the surface to remove the previous scratches. Does that make sense? Because you've got your lower your grades, the higher the scratches, and then as you're going up through the grades, the lesser the scratches. Okay? So if I just skim over this now, you're not really taking out the 400 scratches. I hope that makes sense. All right, so we'll get into that. You probably notice I don't really worry about trying to minimise the scratching of the roof or turret. You just look at that. Wow, that's just because it's just got the water on it, and it looks really good. So you can use your hand to remove it. Okay, so I'm just going to go a little bit more. Geez, out of all the demos I could have done, I had to get one with a bloody hatch in the roof and shit right around the hatch. course I did. We can't do it easy here at Mods. We like to do things the hard way. Okay, so happy with that. So that's the 6,000. And then the 8,000. It's like, when you get into the 8,000, it's like rubbing down air. But it is, trust me, it makes a difference. So I hope everyone's been enjoying this content. I enjoy bringing it to you. I wouldn't say there's a bit of work involved in getting it up each Wednesday. I try and do my how-tos on Wednesday, and the fun stuff Sunday night, like my builds and that. And so if you haven't checked out my builds, they're on Sunday. And believe it or not, I probably haven't sort of said this enough, that my Sunday builds have got tons of how-tos in them, right? So I probably have never mentioned that before, but go check them out. And this Sunday, what have we got coming up this Sunday? Geez, I don't even know. I don't even know yet. I'll just fly by the seat of my pants. Oh, yeah, wild boy. It'll be a wild boy. Well, look at that. I just found a bit of crap right there on the edge. So while I got the 8,000, I might just see if it can knock it down with that. Okay. See how I've got that's dry now. And see how it's got that gloss level coming back? Because we're cutting the gloss level into it. All right, we're coming up through the smooth up to 10,000 now. So, like I said, it's like we're rubbing back glass, and it makes all the difference. Especially if you're rubbing the whole thing down for one of them showroom finishes, and you're going nuts. Going through all these stages is pretty important, and also having fresh sandpaper, particularly when you're getting up into the 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. You need to make sure that it's relatively fresh because you want to be cutting right, because it's hard enough as it is at this level trying to get a good cut because it's so fine, right? Okay, see what I mean? See that? You can hardly... the scratches are there, but it's like they're just dull. All right, so what we're doing, we're just giving the polish less work to do. All right, so you can just run over the whole top of it. You're not going to cut through with 10,000. All right. One of these days I'll bring you a how-to polish orange peel. I just don't get any orange peel. I only get, unless I want it. So I might have to do something and really get it orange peely so I can show you how to do that as well. So that's done. So we just got the bit on the door, yeah? So we'll crack on. We'll get the bit on the door. We need to go back down, don't we? We need to go 6, 8, then 10. Sorry, I was too busy talking. All right, and see the gloss level? Right. I'll get set up for polish for the compound and I'll come back. All right. So let's figure this out together. Try it first before you read the instructions, right? Isn't that what we do? Hopefully that gauge fits in there, or if it doesn't, I'm up shit creek without a panel. and it doesn't fit. Crisis averted. It's got a grub screw both sides. Now let that be a lesson to you. Read your instructions. Jeez, I don't think I've ever seen that in tooling where you got one like a grub screw both sides. So there you go. All right, so we're figuring it out together. I'll move my camera back. I'll get rid of my water so I don't end up doing a naughty to myself. And now a little secret, well, not a secret, more of a tip. Keep your pads clean after you use them. Wash them out. Yeah. So what I do, I just put it on there, right? And then before I use it, I just spin it on. And if it's, just move it over a little bit. So you get it so it's perfectly spinning. Gee, it's quiet. There you go. Now you'll have to bear with me. I don't know what speed we're going to be. What's going to be my happy spot? I like the little tool holder, I think. So that's pretty good. All right. So let's move halo. Grab myself my little cotton wool bud, and we'll start with some compound. Yeah. We'll just start down the front. And that's heaps. Okay, you don't really need much more than that. All right, get your body on an angle so you can see it. And what I say is bring it down onto the car running. Oh, geez, this is a nice machine. Oh, yeah. Even on the first setting, I'm loading up the machine, and it is responding really well. Yeah, I like it. I could tell straight away, right? Geez, they make some good products, this mob. Gee, I wish they'd sponsor me. Oh, look at that. Oh. Look at that. That is, like, seriously. Yep. Now, see the way it's it looks like it's got like a little like smudgy looking. Okay, that's just the heavy duty coarse compound. Okay, we'll fix that as we go up through the compounds, because you've got to remember compound. It's basically like toothpaste, right? We're using, so it's the same sort of stuff, right? So that's why you can see that sort of, if you can. I mean, I know halo's in the way, but that. I'm very happy with that. I don't think we need to go any more than that. And that looks, I'm very satisfied. Well, there you go. Yeah. Ultimate Clear by SMS Paints. It's, looks good, eh? So let's get the next bit on. I mean, at the end of the day, right, you always try to get a job complete without any crap in it. But sometimes you have to do it. And also, like I said before, you might be looking, that's probably a little bit too much. You might be looking for that showroom finish where you want to face the whole thing back and that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to work that corner a bit. Now, you see the way I'm staying away from that edge? And I'm staying away from the back edge. All right, and when I do run over the edge, it's only just like skimming over it. Oh, geez, this is a nice polish machine. Wow. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I'll put it down there, where I got it and what I paid for it. Yeah, it's. I mean, it looks fantastic, right? I mean, that's half the battle, right? Do you reckon? Even though my old green one, I love that thing, and like I said, it's dying. And I've been praising that thing up for the last 6 months on YouTubies, and the bloody thing's starting to die on me. That looks fantastic. There's a slight bump right on that edge of that hatch. I'm not prepared to do any more to that, because if I do, I might end up cutting through, and we don't want that. Because, you know, that's what we don't want, right? But it's pretty good. We'll keep working it. I'll work it, baby. Oh, geez, I don't know if I need to go any higher. The revolutions are fantastic. Geez, the colours that are coming out in that colour shift extreme, they are really, really good. So if you guys, if you're thinking about getting some of that, make sure you use my code, right? Don't pay full retail. No way. Not when you can get away with that, eh? Pop over to thescalemodeler.com.au and tell them Mod sent you. And yeah, use your discount code and get yourself a bit of a deal, right? Why not? I love getting deals for you guys. That's the first thing I say when someone comes on board. What are you going to do for my followers? I really do. I seriously do. I go, well, what's in it for them? Most of the time there's probably more in it for you than there is for me, but and most of the time it's just probably break even if I'm lucky, but it's always good to get you guys some deals, which is fantastic, right? Oh my. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's... Hey, let me move my coffee to get my coffee mug. I'm giving that... That's the Duck's Guts Award. There you go. You're getting a real-time review. None of this fluffing and... You know, oh, geez, I watch some other YouTubers doing this stuff from time to time. Not very often, but I think, oh, really? You know, I try and bring you real time reviews, right? And if it's not good, I'll say so. You know, I'll let you know. All you have is my word that I'll do the right thing by you guys, and if it's crap, I'll say so. So far, the two products, they're not crap. The Ultra 2K Clear and the Polisher. Chicken dinner. Looks good, doesn't it? I'm really, really happy. So that's good. So we've got that done. Now let's get that bit on the door. Now, remember, where's Halo? Oh, God, come on, Halo. Critical. Watch that edge there and watch that edge there. And the flat surface, because what can happen, right, is you can get yourself down in there and you can end up burning. Sorry, guys, a bit dusty. You can end up burning that flat edge. So you've got to be a little bit careful. Keep it moving, all right? And keep it moving, but, you know, don't be in a rush to get the job polished, because you're at the business end, right? I always say when the green cloth comes out, you're at the business end. And, let me have a sip of coffee. Oh, I'm not sure if I said how the weather's going up here in sunny Queensland. I apologise if I'm repeating myself, but we've had cyclones up north because we're in our wet season. up here, and I think we've had like 5 in Australia already, and up north, yeah, we've had a decent blow up north, and we're down a fair way in central Queensland, but we get the rain, and it's been awesome. We've had so much rain, and as you can see by the lighting in here, I got no bright light coming in today, and it's actually nice. But it's not cold. It's never cold here in central Queensland. So see how I'm just running over the top there, and that, wow. Revolutions on one, the revolutions are way more powerful than my old tool. And, oh, geez, I wish I remembered the cost, because I don't reckon it was that much more for this one as opposed to the old one I got. And it's geez, I like it. Oh, God, that's good. All right, so sorry, guys, I'm giving you a real-time waffle. So we're done with the course. So I'll crack on with the fine. I won't bore you anymore with the fine. I'll get it all finished, and then I'll come back and we'll wax it, and then we'll go over. We'll recap the whole thing. All right. So I'll get on with it. Okay, let's get the wax on, and it looks really good. Well, this is my old like cloth applicator, and it's slowly falling apart, but it's really good for putting this stuff on. So this stuff is on, you wipe it on, and you would literally wipe it off straight away. You don't muck around. All right, and just use your I'll put down here what this costs. And there you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. And watch this. Look. Fingerprint resistant. I love that, especially when you're fitting it up. It's really, really good. So, yeah. So you can run over your whole model with this. I'll probably do this later on. I don't know if I could be bothered doing it now. And we'll just get it on where we were. All right, I'll get cleaned up and I'll come back and we'll summarise it. So there you go. There's the finished product. I've got a little bit of dusty bits in just that door there. Gee, it's a difficult body, eh? I mean, like it's been perfect. It's been perfect to show you guys bit of a how-to. Because it's a difficult body, right? It's got lots of run points, and it just looks absolutely fabulous, and I've really enjoyed doing this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. If you didn't get a chance to watch me put this stuff on, or paint strip it, put this stuff on and paint it and all the whole shebang, get over and check them out. So that's it. So takeaways, yeah, get you some of that. That tool, that's going up there. That's going up there. Fantastic, great revolutions on one, perfect. I didn't have any power problems at all. Yeah, I'm just wiping it down. The finish, the flip, yeah, fantastic. Now, if I was taking this to a show, I would, I'd be a bit of a cheeky bugger, and I'd probably face back a bit more around it and spend a very long time getting a very nice finish. But that's more than acceptable, right? But that's just me. If I wanted to take it to the polish to another level, that's what I'd do. But it looks pretty good, right? As you can see, I've only just polished the bits that's been required. So, and I love the way it sits in this color, on this light, on this angle. Then you just go like, oh, yeah, It's really nice. So we're done. Like, comment, subscribe. When you write a comment, let me know where you're from. Had a guy the other day reached out to me from Canada. G'day, mate. Love that when you guys let me know where you're from. It's really good. I love it. And I will catch you on the next how-to and product review. I'm sort of trying to maybe blend them into a product review and a how-to at the same time, something a little bit different. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.